Welcome back, my skibbity sigmas!
So back in January while I was in Japan, I witnessed Trump get inaugurated. And within the first 10 days of this nigga being in office, planes was crashing. Shit was looking like the beginning of the rapture. And as somebody who had to return to America in the next month, February, with a, by the way, if you didn't know, a plane, I was waking up every day thinking, damn, I'm about to die in a single-digit amount of days. I was on my phone looking up places that could teach me to channel chakra into my feet so I could walk across water. But I didn't find anywhere that did that. So I did the next best thing that I could do. Now I should preface this by saying I don't typically wish ill will upon somebody based off of their political affiliations, but I was praying that if my plane had to go down, it would crash in a Trump supporter's house. Now onto the actual video of my random thoughts. You ever watch somebody do some heinous ass shit to you, and then when you come up to be critical to them, they look you in the eye and be like, only God can judge me. And their assumption usually is that when they die, God is going to judge them in heaven. But what they fail to realize is that the backhand that you're about to serve them could also be interpreted as a message or judgment from God. It kind of reminds me of, like, say a woman is like, oh, I pray to God that I would get this job. Please, God, please help me get this job. And then when they get the job, they just be like, thanks, God, for helping me get this job. Whole time, the only reason why they got the job is because the manager, Jorge, is trying to crack their back 5 weeks from that day. Like, what part did God partake in the process if you get in that job? Making sure that Jorge wasn't gay? To add on to this, there are certain judgments that are just impossible to interpret that they are from God. Here's an example that I put as a prompt on my dating profile. Are the people who get struck by lightning the people who swear to God the most and be lying like a motherfucker? Now, shockingly, pun intended, this prompt has not gotten a single response. But I think it's a valid question that deserves an answer, because lightning will see a densely populated neighborhood with mad trees outside, mad houses, and see one lone motherfucker lying on the floor and strike him in particular. Like, that shit gotta be a direct fuck you from God himself. That nigga be up there after hitting you with lightning talking about, keep my motherfucking name out your mouth, bitch. Moving on, something that really annoys me is when people say, oh, this person isn't that attractive because you can find other people like them at the gas station or at school. Bitch, where do you fuel up on gas? Where is your place of education? Let me pull up to that college campus right now. I have seen niggas say that Pink Panthers is mid because you can find another Ethiopian woman who look exactly like her at a gas station. Niggas be living in heaven and acting like I don't want to be there. But putting my desires aside, I'm looking past the inherent logical flaw here. Just because something is ubiquitous doesn't mean that it's mid. Let me put this in Fortnite terms for you dumb niggas. If everybody in the lobby got gold weapons, are gold weapons mid?
Actually,
no! But if we wanted to follow your guys' line of reasoning, there are very few women who look like Gorlocks out there, and your mom is one of them. So that means that you should want a Gorlock. You should go pound one right now. Speaking of stupid shit, I hate when I'm in line to pay at the store and the person in front of me who is being given their change back says, oh, keep the change. My brain just be thinking, ma'am, we are in a Walmart. Your stupid ass is just giving extra money to billionaires. Matter of fact, you should give the money to me. The shit that really pisses me off too about this is that same bitch gonna be walking around later in the day talking about, oh my God, I did such a good deed today. No, the fuck you did not. You committed a moral wrong. You might have had a spot in heaven beforehand, but now the devil gonna greet you with open arms in the deepest part of hell. And I get like going to a mom and pop shop or a place that gives their employees tips and doing this, but doing this at a Walmart? You might as well write a well thought out letter to the CEO about how you'd like them to fuck you in the ass. Oh, we getting a little political with this next thought. But I made an observation that if the continent of Africa were to be switched with Mexico, Trump would have made 100% sure that that wall was built in his first term. Matter of fact, he wouldn't have asked Africa to pay for it in the same way that he did with Mexico. Instead, you would just see on the day of his inauguration, everybody be wondering, where's Trump? Where's Trump? He's nowhere to be found. And then a news report comes on talking about Trump is currently at the border between Africa and the United States. And then the camera pans over to Trump building the wall, not by brick, obsidian block by obsidian block. And then the man with the microphone walks up to Trump and all you hear him muttering is, can't let these damn niggas get into our country again. In fact, speaking of something that Americans would take more seriously if black people were more involved in it, is gun ownership. And I'm not the only one who has said this, but if over 50% of black people own guns in America, the Second Amendment would have been repealed decades ago. Matter of fact, the head of the NRA would be at the Washington Monument giving a speech talking about, think of the children. We can't have guns walking around with our children around. The state of Texas would be putting people in prison for making finger guns. They'd even put black people in jail for thinking about a gun. You gotta call the criminal offense tag WB. Thinking about guns while black. If black kids were going pew pew in schools in the same rate as white kids were, a single bullet would cost $300 in America. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that black people should go out and, purchase more guns or that anybody should go pew pew at their school. I'm just pointing out the obvious. Okay, bye.